We also have some Cyberpunk news today. There's been some scuttlebutt again, and wow, it's amazing how that bad news follows them. Like they're getting ready. I think that they're getting ready to announce something like another patch or something. But the minute like they did a call, what do they call that, earnings call, and I mean, according to a lot of the news sites out there, and you're welcome to search for these and read them if you like. I I'm not quoting anyone in particular. Just the stock price and stuff like that are low for the game, and possibly even lower than a typical AAA game would be. And that's all well and good. I mean, I don't think that even with the stock price the way it is, they're still not on the Sony PlayStation Store. God only knows what's going on there. I don't have any insiders on that, but it sounds like, use air quotes on that. Sounds like Sony's kind of just jacking them around a little bit because there's obviously other games on the Sony PlayStation Store that are probably in much worse condition. But I think it's a good lesson for Cyberpunk or CDPR, excuse me, to next time let's not have this kind of problem. That was there was just a lot of bad decisions made, and I'm hoping they're going to be able to get it all turned around. To be honest with you, I love the game. I've played it a lot. If you were watching the stream before I got on here, I think it's 873 hours I'm up to play time, which is a lot. And according to my GOG Galaxy, it says I'm number one. So I don't know what that means, if I've played more than anyone else on GOG, or if I'm just number one because I ain't got no friends. I don't know what that means, but I'm number one, and I'm taking it. We also have heard some other rumors that possibly within the next couple weeks we might be getting that patch update that we've been waiting for. And I really wanted to talk about that. I don't understand Cyberpunk's philosophy on updates. They have a PC version and they have, console versions, right? Warframe has the same issue. They have a PC version and they have console. They update the bejesus out of the PC version and then release the console versions afterwards. And I'm not sure why CDPR doesn't adopt something like this. Like I said, I don't know that I'll ever get to speak to any of them to ask them this question. But when Warframe has some issues, they put them out. They put it out on PC because that's the bulk of their player base, just like Cyberpunk. And then of course the PC people rip it to shreds. They figure out what's wrong with it. They fix it all up, and then they publish everything to cert. And then boom. I mean, there's hot fixes, but they're like this. CDPR's hot fix takes like 2 weeks. I mean, a Warframe hot fix, if they have something wrong, they will pop. And that's a live game. I mean, that thing's, this could be a live game, but they're a live service with multiplayer and all that. This is a single player game, and they're so worried about messing people's progression up and stuff. It's like, yeah, but you know what, you guys, there's ways around all that. I don't know. CDPR, they were really into their single player games. You could tell that they really, even when you hear, like, I watch Powell. I don't know his last name. It's Powell something with an S. Anyway, he's like the lead quest designer, and he does a live stream on Twitch on Sundays that I watch. I don't usually watch the whole thing, but I watch some of it. But even when he's talking, he's mostly like all about the story, where I'm more like I'm all about the gameplay and then keeping people around, keeping them playing more and then giving them things to do and all this stuff outside of the story. The story is amazing. Okay. No, nobody will ever say that story is not amazing. I mean, okay, some people might criticize the story, but realistically, most people, I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say most people are not going to badmouth that story because it's a good story. I mean, I had to play every single ending. I mean, I wanted to see what the hell was going on. I wanted to see more Keanu Reeves, man, because you just can't get enough of the guy. the guy's dry humor just slays me. I'm a dry humor guy, being a Scorpio, as you probably know if you've watched the Duality podcast with Jamie and myself. Yeah, we're very dry individuals as far as humor goes. So anyway, the Cyberpunk, they are supposedly, that's the rumor. That's not confirmed yet, but they're very squeamish right now. CDPR is super squeamish about saying anything to the public because, they've been roasted. They've been roasted, cooked, flipped over, burnt on both sides and the insides, and then somebody cut them open. It's been bad for them, and I feel for them. I do. I feel for them, but I think they've learned some lessons. You can't, one thing, and here's one thing that Pavel got me with the other day. He was saying I think this was like 3-4 weeks ago. He was saying, that he, now I forgot what the hell I was saying. But anyway, Pavel says things sometimes that really throw me for a loop, and I'm like going, what does he think? But he mostly sticks to story stuff. Like he wants us to know why they decided to do this or that, the other thing. And that's great from a developer standpoint. I mean, and even I'm interested in that to an extent. What the player base keeps asking them, they keep wanting information. They want to know when the next patch is, when the next, when they're going to be able to have sex with Takamura, stuff like that. I don't know. It gets crazy. But in any event, they're very squeamish about telling me or telling the public. I am the public, but they're very squeamish right now about saying anything because they just do not want to get stomped into the ground again. And I don't blame them, but I still think that they've got a long way to go, even in their QA. Their QA. I mean, I'm still floored that they fixed the fast travel term and the map for Mega Building H11, but then they broke the one for the one that you live in, the one that V lives in. The main character in the game lives in Mega Building H10, and I don't know if the two are connected or something. Why when they fixed one, it changed the other. I know they couldn't have done that on purpose. I mean, who would do that on purpose? If you've ever played the game, you know that that's 10 and that's 11. It's just driving me nuts. But anyway, if you get a chance, or if you want to know more about Pavel's streams, let me know. I mean, they're cool. He's going through the game kind of like I am. I think we're about roughly. He might be a little bit ahead of me right now, but I'll blow him away pretty soon because I haven't really got into it yet because I was trying to do this new player experience series, which I have finished. The actual last. Excuse me. The last video in that series will actually get released next week because I wanted to be able to release the last one today so I could do this stream with you guys today. And we're gonna continue from kind of where I left off in that stream. So it would be if you don't want to know anything about the game or whatever, this may not be the stream for you. But I'm just gonna continue showing people how to play, to get what I think is the maximum amount of options. Okay, the maximum amount of loot, the maximum amount of options. I mean, we're not going to grind or anything like that, but I'm going to give you some paths to go down, and then I'm going to go down some of those paths and show you why. There's always other paths you can choose, though. You don't have to choose the paths that I choose, obviously. Although I think you would be brilliant if you did.